Today's agenda and today's topics. We are going to continue and see. Okay, so let me share my screen. What happened yesterday? From yesterday. Can anyone of you in this class can just try to access this window? I just want to know, is it something for my this network or it is happening to everyone? Just want to see actually. Website is low. Can anyone able to access it? Just see whether you are able to see that page or not. No problem. Audible, right?
Yes, sir, it's accessible. Am I audible? Hello?
Yeah. Website is coming.
Oh, yeah, sir. I can see the. Yes, sir.
After that, you are able to see the login and all.
Yeah, I have logged in and I am seeing the that page where we are going to draw everything.
Okay. I got it. What happened? The subscription got expired. Fine. Not an issue. Then okay. Let's no worries. Let's produce. We'll do something else then in that scenario. We'll go traditionally for a timing. So today's topic, what we are going to start it, that is the next topic, which is relatable to called it as storage. It is relatable called it as storage, and that is actually called it as AWS storage. Storage. Okay. When we talk about storage in our mindset, a very straightforward understanding goes that okay, something which is used for storing the stuffs into this one, and it's pretty much correct only. When we talked about storage, generally the reference is also same only. There is nothing very major difference when the naming convention come into the part. But how this storage actually plays differently in this scenario, that we are going to see. Okay, in AWS, actually there are around five kind of a different storages are available. Okay, storage one, storage two, storage three, storage four, storage five, and each five types of storage play differently. Each five type of storage play differently, and every storage have its own like advantage as well as like disadvantage. And I'll tell you which is very popular from the like from the prospectus of your research and development also. So that is also we are going to do it. So the first storage which is there into AWS, that is called it as simple storage. It's called storage service, that is called S3. After that, the another storage which you will see and call it as, that is called it as EFS. It is your elastic file system. Elastic files. The third storage which we having right now into this one is your elastic elastic block storage. Fourth system in this one is your Glacier, AWS. Okay, and the last one is Snowball. Last one is AWS. So these many different type of AWS storages are available. Okay, simple storage, elastic file system storage, elastic block storage, and Glacier and Snowfall. So basically, if we talked about the AWS storage, it what exactly it will do? It actually, it actually offers the offers uh, instead of the offers a complete range of cloud applications of cloud storage services to support both application both application and an archival cloud appliances applications archival cloud application as well as it can follows cloud appliance requirements. Cloud appliance requirements. Select the objects. Select the objects, files, and block storage as well. Block storage as well. It helps us to migrate the data from the start design foundation of your cloud to foundation of your. What exactly it means that cloud, which is cloud storage, plays very different role. Okay, in when you see with the layman terminology, at a first point of view, this topic looks very straightforward. Okay, this topic looks like okay, these are the small things you have to do it. But when you go in depth, when you go and try to understand what exactly these all topics say, so it plays a very vital role in your configurations. Means like for example, whenever you are, for example, any kind of a developer you are, like I say Java developer or Python developer or React or front end. When you look for a placeholder in this one, so definitely for the placeholder you should be using these storages available into the cloud itself. It can be your simple storage, it can be your elastic file system storage, it can be your elastic block storage, it can be any kind of a storage which is available. So that way the storage foundations have been built it up on it. As of now, what exactly happening whenever you are creating an EC2 instance also? Okay, whenever you are creating an instance to instance also, what exactly happen? It is creating an instance storage. For an example, if we go over here over the screen and just passing over here and just using AWS console, and over there if we pass sign in as root user and we'll pass it as sheet and go to sign. If we go over here and go to easy to instance ones and just try to create instances and just try to create launch instances. So when we go and do at that particular fund, what exactly it is happened? If you go into the downside, this storage, this particular storage is your the instance storage what you are going to add it. So if you see over here, this is the root volume, not encrypted. Okay, this is the root volume, which is not encrypted, and this is called it as instance storage. Okay, but if you're going to add another storage, which we just now talked about, that will be your EBS volume, elastic block storage. If you see the paint screen again, where it went. If you see over here, like we talked about simple elastic block storage, AWS Glacier, that is actually an entity, but by default, which is coming with you, that is your instance storage. Call it as default one. Default one. So how many storages are there in real world? If you talk about it, is a simple storage. Then it is a elastic file system. What exactly elastic file system? We will go and see that part also. Elastic block storage. How elastic block storage you are going to use in window box, window environment, that also we are going to see it. AWS Glacier and Snowball, I will talk about how it is there. Okay, so what exactly it is there? Let's now debug and make it very small parts. So for an example, let's say okay, uh, let's say. So what exactly into this one? So for an example, when we talked about the storage in AWS, storage in AWS, that actually follows that actually follows the object level storage. Remember this word, object level storage, and it can be accessed from anywhere. Okay, that is the first thing which is going to occur. It can be accessed from anywhere. That is your general storage. If I would say moreover, this is a S3 storage. Let's say it can be accessible from anywhere. Secondary part when we talked about, that is called EFS. It is an elastic file system storage, most important storage. You will have a lot of things to do with this one. Elastic file system storage. What exactly it is? It is actually a, a volume, a volume which going to, we are going to create, which we are going to create elastic storage, a volume which we are going to create in Linux, which we are going to create in AWS, and literally on the storage need to mapped as an as an additional data as an additional data in the systems we will do a lab for this one. Okay, we'll do lab for all of the top one, like the way we are doing it. Then another one is your elastic block storage. So let's say which is which storage is going to be associate going to be associate with the EC2 instance directly. With the EC2 instance directly. See, adding a storage is not an issue. Always remember. Anytime you can add it. Whenever you feel you can add it. But the problem is until and unless you won't define it that okay where it is going to be used, it is just going to be look anywhere. Okay, it is just going to be look anywhere. For an example, let's deploy one EC2 instance quickly. So let's say deployment storage. This is the EC2 instance. Let's create it. Make it as Amazon Linux. We are doing from very long Linux only. Let's take Red Hat today. Okay, Red Hat Linux. This one t2.micro. Make it create new KPI and just give it the name similar like this one, deployment storage. And just click on create new KPI. Just make it paste, download, go to network, default, and then just pass the subnet as let's say 1B today. IP enable, select the existing, whichever default is there, let it be, remove EBS. This one you removed it and just okay. As of now, just default you can see. Default we are seeing only. Let's say we have added one volume also. Okay, and that is the EBS volume for our time being, just to see. Okay, and I'll just say launch instance. So what exactly it is doing it? As of now, there is a way to create or add an external storage from generally EC2 instance also. There is nothing like a policy that okay, you have to only do this convention from volume itself. You can do it from here also. Okay, there also you can do it. So if you see over here, now actually AWS also do so much of updates. So as of now, earlier it used to like just create an instance and you might not be seeing these kind of a things, but now there's as many things are getting option like connect to the instance, connect to database, create an EBS snapshot policy. What is snapshot policy? I will tell you. Okay, but let's say when till it is coming up this part, what exactly we will do? Come back over here. So EBS which storage is going to be associated with the EC2 instance directly just now which we added into the okay which just now which we added into our system. Now another thing is that fine meantime the EC2 instance will come. The another point which we have that the another storage that is called Glacier. That is called Glacier. Glacier is actually this Glacier is actually came from S3 Glacier itself. S3 Glacier itself. Okay, so what is this Glacier thing part? Okay, what this S3 Glacier is part? Like for an example, when we do something on demand, when for an example you are doing some work on demand, so at that time that particular cost of that thing is very high. Okay, the cost of that particular thing is very high. Let's assume with an example. Let's say you are purchasing one car which is newly into the market, Understand this thing very carefully. When you purchase that new car into the market, so what is the problem you are going to say? First thing what you will see, it's very costly. It's very costly. Let's say from the market standards. Okay, it is very costly. On top of it, there is no discount happen. No discount happen. Okay. On top of it, there is less customer benefits. Less customer benefit. On top of it, booking is very difficult. Is very difficult. Right. So in this particular scenario, when something is very high demanding, that means it will be the top rankers. Okay, it will be something which is not easily available for anyone. Right. So in this scenario, this particular scenario belongs to S3 storage. So this will be always be demanding. For an example, if I'm developing a product, now understanding this scenario, if I'm developing a product and I want very quickly to use it, so definitely I am going to use S3 storage only. I'm not have a chance to choose any other one. Remember this thing. I am going to choose S3 only, like my code, my jar files, my certificates, my rest of the files will available into the storage of S3 itself. Okay, but let's say if something is not very actively used as of now, which is I don't want right now, which is I don't want right now, and maybe that is something out of the model. That is something out of the model. In that particular scenario, we will be using S3 Glacier, S3. Now, what exactly it means? Now, for an example, if I'm developing a new course, think of you are doing something research on the new application. So all your code will be available into S3 storage only, everything. And this will give you a bigger cost because this is something you are on demand asking. Okay, no, no, I need this Java file, give me. I need this file, give me. I need this file, this one. So this will going to be a very costly. But there is a scenario where S3 Glacier will become, which is not in regular use, and you don't want to delete it. Let's understand again with some example. So there was a time frame, right? Like for an example, we have moved so the evolution have been happened so fastly that we have been like habitual with the traditional things still. So let's say some people likes or many people likes the old songs. Okay, some people like the 1970s songs, right? Some people like 1975 songs, 1990s songs. So there were songs used to be happen, right? To capture that big songs data. Remember at that time, and if you might get a chance to see that thing. So at that time, we used to have it. Something called radio type things was there. Okay, uh, something like CD drives used to there, DVD drives used to there. So in that the songs we used to play it, right? And songs will be there. A deck player was used to be there. Um, uh, like different type of music appliances was there at that time, right? So now to maintain that thing in a labs or in a homes or where it is very costly. You cannot do that thing. And on top of it, that particular audio things also because that is with some thin wire used to go it, so it can go waste. It can go waste. But we don't want to dissolve those things because there is a thing. I don't know how many of you actually seen that thing, but this is something. Music cassettes was used to there, cassette tapes, something like this. So these was the songs. Cassette is how many of you have seen actually this thing? Seen or not? Let me. I'm not
Yes,
uh,
sir.
seen, right? Any person is there who does not seen this thing? Like this is Gen Z generation, right? So I am a bit spectacle while talking to other things,
Oh, it's a tape. Yeah.
right? Fine. So these were the tapes used to be there, and you used to have a different type of deck players. And when our grandfathers were there, so they used to play in like radios and all, right? And they used to have it in a kind of a walkie-talkie. These we used to call it as walkie-talkie, and like when we were in a school days, so we used to get it from our parents. Sometimes, okay, spend some time on this one to learn things. Okay. Similarly, there was some DVD players are there, so these kind of a things was there. Okay, so and in that particular scenario, what exactly it happened? So anyhow, when the times goes on, okay, when the times goes on, after that, what exactly it happened? You the things will proceed further. Okay, things will proceed further, right? And to maintaining everything is very difficult. It is quite problematic to maintain this scenario, right? So in that particular thing, what exactly happened? Then they recognize this music industry recognize that okay, we will lose this data. So to maintain this data, we should be using AWS S3 Glacier. So this will cost you very minimal. This will cost you very minimal. Okay. What is minimal? It means like if they are charging 100 rupees for S3 storage for let's say 10 years, assuming. Okay. So for S3 Glacier storage, we will just charge you 1 rupee approximately. Why? Because you don't need at daily basis. You don't need at regular basis. You will be needing whenever you find it convenient at that time. That's the reason now a time when remix came or new songs came in at the older songs that actually that actually happened because it is already available into the storage. Fine. So now this is one part. Now let's move further. In the cloud section, the another important part which you have to talk about, cloud part, the another important section which we are talk about, that is the two categories. That is the two categories. So the first category which we are going to talk it about is your block storage. And the another category which is there in this one is your object storage. Object storage. Because you have to define few rules also there into the cloud. So when we talked about block storage, what exactly it means? It means this this particular storage is suitable for suitable for transactional transactional databases, databases, random reads, random reads, and write with the structural with the structural database storage with the structural database storage. Okay, means it is basically used for transactional databases, random reads and write with the structural database storage. Whereas the object storage is actually storing the file, actually storing the file as an whole. We will see what exactly it means as an whole. Remember this point as an whole, and it does not divide the it does not divide the data. It does not divide the data. Means generally what happens in block storage, next point when we'll talk, it will actually divide the data into the blocks. Whereas in storage, it does not. Whatever it is there, it will just go and put down there itself. Okay. Now come to the second point of this storage. Now come to the second point of this storage. We will have some interesting lab in the storage part, which we'll see. So block storage is easily block storage is easily able to delete the data, or not delete, is able to divide the data to be stored in evenly evenly sized blocks. Evenly sized blocks. What exactly it means? For an example, data is of 100 GB. Okay, for example, this data is of 100 GB. It actually breaks the data in the form of chunks. That is very small component. It is very small component. Okay, what exactly it means? It means a file. It means a file can be splitted into every small size. Into every small size. That is what it talks about. Means data is there, 100 GB data is there, but sending us one create data, it is very difficult in block storage, right? Whereas in this one, it is actually coming as a block. So what we have something created, right? Also, so coming to the EC2 instances, I'll just show you something. And this past, and let's take this public IP. Let's take this public IP. What else options we have? Session manager. Okay, session manager. We'll see. Okay. Port is not accessorized. Just a second. Let's add it. Security group over here. And let's add it in one routes. Add rule. Let's say SSH. Let's say okay, let's try something giving our own IP. It is taking. Let's give it a try. Let's try see if this kind of thing works or not. So we'll get to know. EC2 instances and deployment storage. Okay. Let's see more. Pass session SSH pass. So once use private key downloads deployment storage. I think it won't work because we define some custom network actually. Custom network it won't be work. Yeah. So again security. Go to security, add it in rules, change it to let's say my IP and save it rules. Let's try. Let's try again. Accept. Okay, so now just type a command sudo space s and just type a command df-h. When you say df-h, here actually it will show you the different kind of a storage, or different kind of a storage, which is it is actually available into your system. And if you type lsblk, so it will show you the storage which is there in your system also. This is unused storage. See, if you see XVDA, so this is getting used everywhere. Okay, 10 gigahertz, 800 GB part, it is already using it. But this is remember which we have added additionally as storage. That is your that storage is your EBS storage, and the storage which you need to map it, that concept is called it is as an EFS storage. Okay, so here what exactly happening, the data is now getting divided into chunks, right? 4 GB, 388 MB, 154, 8 GB, like this way it is divided. Same way, if I'll go to OPT, here also the data will be segregated. Okay, means every place data will be divided, right? Whereas in this scenario the data won't be going to be divided. Fine, so that is the another component which you have to remember it. But when we are going to see this S3 storage or the block, at that time we will see that it will be in a common chunk. Now coming back to this part, coming back to this part. So in this particular scenario, what exactly it mean to say that? What exactly it mean to say that data blocks, data blocks stored stored in the form of in the form of block storage in the form of block storage which could not contain which do not contains any metadata any metadata. What exactly means metadata? It means its unique such as properties such as name, name, date on created, date modified. This particular thing, it is going to be done by when the data blocks is there. Apart from that, block storage, block storage will only keep the addresses, the addresses when index data, index data block are getting stored. Index data are getting stored, and it does not care what exactly there in the block. What exactly block. So as of now, when you see this scenario also coming to here, so in EC2 instance, over here, whatever the storages are available, as of now, system is not knowing it, what exactly you have the plan, what exactly you trying to do it, okay, and what exactly your next goal for this particular thing. But you should be knowing it that you have something mapped over there, something configured over there. That is the one thing which you are seeing it, right? Now, when we talked about object storage over here, what now object storage have the plan? So object storage, object storage is itself the file, self the file which is getting the data stored. This is getting the data stored. Okay. Apart from that, apart from that, it can store a metadata, a metadata, as well as it must be having object object global unique identity, object global unique identity. Where exactly this object storage, where exactly it look, that I will show you. As of now, you just understand the concept. So object storage is itself the file which is getting stored apart from the stored metadata where global unique identity works. Fine. Laterally only what happened into the object storage, it actually produce the global unique ID, global unique ID for the object. Object means which we are going to place. Object can be anything. It can be a Java file, it can be a certificate, it can be a management file, anything. Okay, and it must be having the physical storage location. It must be having the physical storage location in the bucket or in the storage. Means it should be, you can able to see what exactly over there in that storage itself. Okay. On top of it, the most important point, object storage cannot be mounted. You can mount instance storage, you can mount AWS storage, you can mount elastic file system storage, but you cannot do it. Okay. In case of object storage. So here this subsets an example, of storage are AWS S3, Dropbox, Dropbox, and few more regular components are, are there. So object storage is basically is a whole set of data. It's like a drive, whichever drive you are using it in your Gmail and all. That is the way it is also treated. You have to define a set of permissions over there. You have to define what exactly you want to block it. You have to define what exactly convention you pass it. And this object storage is only going to be used in your infrastructure as an code also. When you are going to write a Terraform code also, at that time also you are going to define it, right? So you have to understand these all components one by one. Okay, like what exactly it is happening or how the configuration is going. That is one part. Now, now, so we, yeah. So now let's say when we talk about moving from out from this one, or I'll say now let's moving to the part where we have the main entity to talk it about in this component, that is your AWS S3 storage. That is your AWS S3 storage. So this storage, this particular storage, this particular storage is basically a kind of a drive which is accessible by internet itself, internet, right? And in this one and this one we have the simple web services. This one we have a simple web services and interfaces for storing and retrieving any amount of data, anytime, any place at the internet. At the internet. Remember this thing. Whatever you want to do it, whatever you want to place it, anything you can do it in S3 storage using the internet. You can maintain your data also over the S3 storage itself. So S3 itself is an object-based storage. It is not a block-based storage. It is an object-based storage. Means whole data will go in a single shot itself. Like if you want to upload a 500 GB file, it won't go in a blocks. It will directly go into this one. Okay. After that, what exactly you do in this one? Another some limitation. You cannot install any operating systems on S3. Remember this thing. Though it's a placeholder, but you cannot do any this kind of configuration. On top of it, S3 having a distributed data source, distributed data store architecture, where objects are reluctantly getting stored in multiple location. Multiple location means minimum 3 regions it will use. You can create it over 3 locations. In this one, data is going to be stored in a form of bucket that is called S3 bucket, which we will see also. Okay. Hence, on top of it, S3 generally keep 3 copies in different availability zone, AZA, AZB, AZC. In that way, it is going to be copied. Whereas S3 will not let you know where the data is stored. Where the data is stored. Okay. Then what exactly it happened? Then the max capacity, like how much you can add it. So the max capacity of a storage capacity, a storage is around let's say 5 TB, 5 TB, right? And S3 bucket is region based, but it is globally accessed. Means if I can create it into Mumbai region, I can able to access this one. The max bucket we can create up to 100. Like 100 buckets we can use it and create it in the one account, in one global account. That is what we are going to do it. Fine. So these buckets convention is very interesting when we see into the practical part, and though this is one of the most straightforward topic which you will going to say it, but this plays a very important role. Okay, this plays a very important role where your conventions go fine. Now, so this is some part of S3 bucket which we just started, or some part of storage which we talked about. Now let's note down one project for this weekend, what you can try it. And can someone share your screen and just start typing whatever I'm talking about? Any one of you? So what exactly you have to do it? What exactly? Lalit, can you share your screen and type it once?
Sir, I am writing in notebook, so I can share it.
Okay, fine. So what exactly you have to do it? You have to set up one VPC first. Okay, set up one VPC. That too a custom VPC you have to set up. This custom VPC you should be having similarly way you will have 6 subnets to be created. Okay, 2 route tables and one one internet gateway, one NAT gateway you should be having. Once you set up this part, once you set up this part, you have to set up one EC2 instance. Have to set up one EC2 instance. One is the public EC2 instance. One is the public EC2 instance. The name of this EC2 instance will be Bastion server. The name of this EC2 instance is Bastion server. Just a second. I'll give something more. Just hold on. AWS projects. Nodes. Okay, so okay, fine. I am able to recall it. So just mention it. You have to deploy an EC2 instance using RHEL. Okay, and this Bastion server should be having GUI enabled. Okay, this Bastion server should be having a GUI enabled, which means it should be accessible. It should be accessible via SSH. via SSH as well as as well as via RDP also. Okay, both of them it should be accessible. You have to access this via, and that feature you will get into Mobexam only. Your EC2 instance should connect over SSH also, session SSH also, and it should connect with RDP also. Okay, once your EC2 instance is accessible, after that you have to create one folder under OPT, CD/OPT. Under CD/OPT, you have to create one folder and give that folder name as an Splunk, SPLUNK, Splunk. You have to create it. Okay. Under Splunk, you have to download one file. Okay. You have to download one file. I can just drop the link over there. First thing what you have to do it, you have to create a account for Splunk. Okay. And once you create a Splunk, then you have to download it. Okay, then you have to download it. This Splunk Enterprise you will find under this one. Here, once you logged in, it will show you products and download section in this one only. So from this link, you have to download the product. Now this is product actually. Okay, we are coming out from the services. This is now product. Now, what exactly you have to do it? You have to download that product into OPT location, the Linux file. Okay, the Linux file you can use any one of them, tar.gz or .deb or RPM file. Any of the one file you have to download it. Okay. Once that download part is done, then you have to give that file a read write permission. Give that file a read write permission, and later on, you have to install Splunk into your Linux environment. You have to install Splunk into your Linux environment. Okay. Once the installation, once the installation done successfully, once the installation done successfully, you should able to access it. You should able to access it in that same EC2 instance. Should be able to access it into the same EC2 instance itself using Chrome browser, using Chrome browser and using the URL, using the URL localhost 8080 or 8000, sorry, localhost 8000, it use 8000 port. So what it means, you have to pass three type of a security group. You have to pass 2022, sorry, 22, you have to pass 3389, and you have to pass 8000 over there. Okay, within configuration time only, installation time only, it will ask you for creation of user and password, username and password. So enter the correct username and password also in that particular scenario. This will be helping you to understand how product deployment now work. Till now you have seen EC2 instances services. Now this will show you how you can install products also into your part. Okay, and you should be, the final result should be, the final result should be Splunk UI. The final result should be Splunk UI on the Chrome browser should be accessible, and you will be on the first screen where all the data is going to be showcased. That will be your end goal. Now, what exactly I told, you have to create a VPC, that is a custom VPC, create with subnets, under which you have to create 4 private subnets, 2 public subnets. Then you have to create one EC2, let's say one EC2 for public and one for private. And that private EC2 public instance should be created with internet gateway, and the private one will be connected with the NAT gateway. Under the NAT gateway configuration of your EC2 instance, you have to deploy Splunk over there. Once Splunk have been installed, then you have to access this via SSH and RDP. That you have to done it. That you have to perform it. This is this I will give to DevOps also. I definitely want them to also try. So, but as of now, you also are moved forward. You also know servers, what is these all components. So this you have to give a try. Any confusion in this project? Anyone? Any confusion on this part? Is this one who is raising hand? Any confusion? Right. So please try this scenario to make understand more. So your end goal should be, for an example, this screen, like the screen you should be seeing local 8080 or 8000, sorry, and it should be showcase the part. Fine, and give a try on that particular scenario. Can you? Okay, I will showcase one more products to you guys later on, but let's try with this one first. Fine. Anything, any further question anyone having? Shravani, your AWS issue is resolved. Shravani, that one more your
Yes, sir.
huh?
Yes, sir.
Resolved, no? But you have not shared your project. Have you done it or not done it?
Today I've done it, sir. Tomorrow I will share.
Fine. Fine. Who else is there? Lalit, Girish. Girish Sai. I think I have not interacted with you. Are you done some projects yet or not? You have not done. Hmm? Girish Sai. I'm just seeing you joining and going. But have you completed anything? Not, sir. Why? When you will be going to complete it? You're seeing, right, how much things are going on in this part. Should be doing it, right? Please complete it. And these two people, Live CIDDD. Can you come again with your names? I'm not able to see your names over there. Quickly, please, guys. Quickly, you have to respect the time because it is not very. Because my schedules are quite occupied nowadays. So help me with your time frames. What exactly you have done it with the project part. Sahiti, you are joining about from the class when it's going to finish.
Okay, okay, sir.
You joined for the first time?
Yes, sir. I want to listen. How is the teaching?
Want to listen it. How you got to know about this class?
What, sir?
How you got to know about this class?
Hmm.
How come you got to know about this particular class? Like
My
you,
friend said to me.
huh?
One of the person said to me, sir.
Okay, fine. Not an issue. You can do one thing. You are right now in any another batch?
Yeah, sir. I want to come. Same batch. Next upcoming batch. I
Okay,
will.
okay, no issue. As of now, we are about to wind up the class. Okay,
Okay.
you join on Monday onwards, or
Okay.
like when the new batch will start. Okay, from that time you will come and join. So
Okay.
then you
Monday
will.
there is new batches, sir.
Monday, no, we are not starting Monday. If you want to join my batch, it will be starting next month only. So you will join
Okay.
next month. Okay,
Okay. Okay. Sir.
fine. Fine.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Fine. We are about on the end of the class. So everyone, please, Lalit, you just drop the content into the chat window, frame it correctly, and then drop into that particular project you drop in. I think this is sixth or seventh project, right? which we are doing it, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 7th project. Okay, so your hands-on clarity is already there. So please frame it correctly, whatever I have just mentioned, and drop into the WhatsApp group. Okay,
Okay, sir.
fine. Thank you, everyone. I have to leave. Thank you.